is Priyansh Shandilya. I'm from class 11 and I seem to study in this very school. Now, today I stand before you speaking for the proposition and start by agreeing with something that the great political pundit Thomas Carlyle said way before the digital era. And I quote, "There may be 3 estates sitting in the parliament, but the one sitting in the reporter's lobby is much more valuable and powerful than those 3. He, of course, ladies and gentlemen, was referring to the media of his time, which over the years has evolved into something much more powerful than it was ever before. It has, in effect, become, as CM Punk would say, the voice of the voiceless. Now, there can be no denying the fact that the diversification of the media, from its original word-of-mouth form to print to television to its modern digital and social form, have bolstered its growth and aided in its exponential growth. Any incident taking place in the world can reach the rest of it in a matter of virtually seconds, and not very long ones of those. Crimes committed and injustice distributed no longer stay hidden behind the deep recesses of the perpetrator's minds. And as life does it every now and then, not even governments are safe from this hard predicament, as I only need to bring up the dealings that the United States government has had with whistleblowers like Edward Snowden for you to understand. Now, I'm not going to talk about whistleblowers a lot here because I believe Karthik already touched on that. But what I would like to say is that I'm going to talk about a lighter thing. I'm going to talk about news outlets on television. Now, news outlets on television have been gaining viewers consistently over the past decade or so. But however, sometimes when Arnab Goswami's voice becomes too tiring, or when we get tired of the disgusting promotional tactics these news channels sometimes utilize, more often than not, social media's micro-blogging websites such as Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr have come to our rescue by organizing various activities over the past few years. Most notably, them organizing an enormous and exemplary digital relief campaign for the Chennai flood victims last year. Due to this great new platform and this overwhelming sea of information now available to us as users, this has put our government in a bit of a hard place because now it faces a very informed electorate. An electorate which had already proven in the past that it can be a hard taskmaster, but now can make informed and better decisions regarding its representatives. Now, it is my belief that the power of the media should be judged on the basis of 2 parameters. The first being the effect it has on the newsmakers. The second being the influence that it can exert on the news receivers. Considering the election of more progress-aligned, less corrupt, and more efficient governments to be a landmark in the past few years, I consider this landmark to be a huge testament to the media's growing power. However, sometimes the media, like everything else in the universe, tends to misuse this power by implementing harmful practices of journalism. For example, hate media, which has been described by renowned journalist Thomas Camillindi as a form of violence so demonic and stigmatizing that it can lead to permanent divisions among communities. And, of course, the cult of the paparazzi, which over the past few years has gained considerable notoriety, most notably for its role in the fatal accident of Princess Diana in 1997. To finally conclude, ladies and gentlemen, do I believe that the power of the media has grown considerably among the last few years? Yes, and exponentially, if I may add. But what comes now, as Spider-Man would say, is the responsibility that comes after acquiring power. Because there's only so much that power can do, but using your power responsibly is what goes in the long run. So, keeping all of that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I beg to propose. Thank you.